Primordial Harmony, a heavily modified run-through of Princes of the Apocalypse, hosted by myself, Mike, and I am playing with...
I am Brittany. I'm playing Kara Hill, who is a tiefling monk.
I am Kitties, and I am playing a awesome gnome bard named Hump.
Hey, name's Miles. I'm playing a Awesomer seeker named Tadias Adinov.
And I'm Justin. I'm playing a Fire Genasi fighter and follower of the greatest musician in the lands, Hum. Or groupie, if you will.
And
a very large groupie. We stand out.
and
We get multi-class and groupie. I want to do that.
multi-class in the what?
Groupie?
Oh.
You just take a level in commoner.
I definitely gonna do that. Looking at level 5. Alright, cool. Go.
Alright. And Nyx would normally be playing Illyria, but she's unfortunately out this week as well. And she'll be back next week. So, does anybody want to give a recap? Alright. I'll take that as a no. So, our heroes traveled from... Our heroes, affectionately referred to as the Excavators, traveled from Rolid to Forthstride, getting a somewhat ominous hint as they camped just off the road between Forthstride and Rolid. A very fast-moving boat traveled upstream past them in the middle of the night, with little disturbance other than the noise. And as they arrived at town, they learned of a situation where the sewer systems that are powered by water elementals, courtesy of the Elemental Guild Clear Currents, have all somehow ruptured all around town simultaneously, leaving people's homes in disrepair and quite a nasty mess in some cases, as well as rogue water elementals occupying the Clear Currents building up in the industrial hill, the industrial block. Our heroes looked around and I think, what did you guys? You made a deal. You made a deal, right?
Yes, we made a killer deal we would be putting up front a deposit of 200 for a ship.
Not for a ship, but for a motor.
And would be getting it back once we brought back the said motor.
Mm-hmm. And believe you guys went to your various I don't know what to call it, stays. Oh no, you also met up with that family. You also met up with sorry, it's been 2 weeks. You've also met up, Zachariel took the party to see Gordon. Is that...
Got promoted!
Oh yeah, you got promoted. That's right, he did that before you guys made that killer deal.
Puffs chest out.
Puffs his chest out. The puffiest chest. Let's see, what else happened? You did see the evidence of the water elemental devices tearing apart houses, certain houses. And you also learned that this sort of put a massive damper on the yearly Greengrass Festival. And although the festival still went on, it is nothing like you remember it being. Not as big, not as joyful. Lively, that's a good word. And I believe Zachariel put his hand at the melee competition and kind of got his ass handed to him a little bit.
I was humbling the other people and allowed them to win.
This is true.
Humbling myself by allowing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me.
In these dark times, happily give joy to others.
By a halfling, nonetheless.
By a halfling, nonetheless. And
Hum is currently
she's currently
on stage but she
playing
is
music.
giving such a poor performance that it's been rough.
It's been a little rough. And also, while Illyria, Hum, and Zachriel were at the festival, gonna get rid of these. Oh wait, no, I want to get rid of all that. All right. One moment. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, crap. It's capturing the wrong window. That's annoying. So there we go. Alright. Okay.
Please stand by. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. They've been mostly resolved. We'll proceed. While everyone, the Illyria, Zachriel, and Hum were at the festival, Tadias and Carahil ran over to Akka to pick up a spell scroll of sorts. And as they were heading that way, they almost ran into, or rather, this person almost ran into them, a student, it seemed, from Akka, seemed to have somewhere to go and nearly barreled into him. Appeared to be a white dragonborn with a sort of lanky frame. So, we're going to open up with Hum sort of playing her music. For fun, why don't you roll another performance check?
And I checked over my rolls. It wasn't so bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't as good as Hum could be.
And she's on a roll.
Still pretty average.
Already better.
You're a little bit better.
You know,
You gotta take what you're given.
it picks up a little bit.
It's Illyria's tambourine playing, I swear.
Oh, I see.
Just sort of tapping off beat a little bit. Yeah. So, as you're playing, and some people are gathered around. Where's out of curiosity, where's Zachriel right now?
He was walking towards Tadias and Carahil.
Okay, so he was walking away
End of the last session.
He was walking away from the arena.
Yeah.
So, Zachriel, as you're walking to meet your friends, you hear sort of a loud protest from a young boy. You turn and you look and you see this little human boy being sort of led on toward the arena with his mother, and he seems to be about maybe 12 in age, and he's being dragged toward the arena by his mother, and you hear him say, "No, I don't want to hurt anyone," and she says, "Oh, you won't hurt anyone. They're made of wood. You're not gonna really seriously injure people. Don't worry. Come on. You're here because we're here because we need to kill some time while the masons fix our wall." She kind of mutters that to herself, and then she kind of gets quiet because she kind of said that out loud. And the boy still protests. She drags him up to the gentleman that runs the whole affair. And you actually watch Zachriel as they get turned away, and you kind of figured that would happen because he's a little bit young for this. While that's happening, yeah.
All right.
While that's happening, you sort of notice this too. Tadias and Carahel sort of notice this too. Some people look, and then once they're turned away, they're like, whatever. But as that's also happening, Hum and Illyria are strumming along. Some of the people are listening, but a crowd sort of doesn't start to gather, but more people get concentrated near the stage, and it's not exactly because of Hum's music. You look to the side, and the bleachers near the stage, you watch as about 15 or so people that have what look like picket signs, and you catch a couple phrases. Some say, "Stop enslaving free beings," and "Let the work be done by the common folk." You catch like these slogans on these signs. They're not holding them up. They're holding them at their side, like down, not as if they're not like exactly demonstrating yet. And you watch as this Tadias, you recognize this white lanky dragonborn sort of walk over to the stage where Hum is playing. He walks over to the front and he waits for a natural break in the music, and he pulls out 5 gold coins and he puts them into the little collector that you have out, and he hops up. He quickly runs and he hops up onto the stage, and he sort of politely taps Hum's shoulder.
Yes?
He says, do you mind if you take a short break?
And why would I do that?
He says, I wish to address everyone here.
Well, I could step down for a couple minutes.
It's only 40 minutes old.
He says, thank you. All right. He looks like he takes a deep breath. Looks like he's trying to calm himself down. He hops off of the stage and gets onto the bleachers with what look like his fellows. And people are sort of strangely interested in this because the group that's there following the white dragonborn have these signs. They lift them up, and it seems to have an effect. People's curiosity is piqued, and they sort of they walk over, and people start to, let's make that a little quieter. People begin to sort of talk amongst themselves, like, what are they talking about? Certain weird questions. And everybody, the party, you guys can all see this sort of going down, and you can make your way there if you choose to. You can definitely see the text on the signs from where you are, and you see the smaller crowd. It would be bigger if this Green Grass Festival was actually in its full front, but it's not. Gonna lower that a little bit more. All right. The white dragonborn gets up to the top bleacher, and he sort of raises his hands out. He says, "Citizens of Forthstride, I've come before you today," and the crowd sort of quiets a little bit, "to appeal to you about an issue that affects all of us. How many of you have an elemental device in your homes?" And people start to murmur a little bit more, and some people are like, "Oh yeah, I got a stove," and some people are like, "Oh, I had the sewer system," and someone says, "Oh, I have a ventilation from winds and sails and such." You should voice that.
Zachriel, when he says elemental device, Zachriel looks at the bottle that he's carrying the elemental around in.
He puts his hand on his chest, like as if to introduce himself, and he says, let me quiet that a little bit. Oh, God. He says, I'm a student at Aldak's Center for the Arcane Arts. I've summoned a few elementals myself, put them into devices as my coursework. He sort of takes another breath. The crowd sort of quiets a little bit more, but some people are murmuring amongst themselves. He says, "These beings of pure energy. They live on their own essence. They're ripped out of their homes, if you pardon the phrase. They're dragged forcefully out of their element and stuffed into containers and forced to do our bidding against our will. And the murmuring starts to get a little louder. And an audience member, a human, he cries out, "You don't know what you're talking about!" And, we'll tell this to her later, but, Illyria recognizes him as, one of the employees at Solid Strides who works for her brother. And the White Dragonborn responds back in turn and says, "But I do! I've performed the arcane procedure multiple times! I've seen their expressions of anguish." The crowd murmurs a little bit more. And he sort of seizes this opportunity and he says, "We must petition the Commerce Council! We must ban this barbarous practice!" And then a different voice from a different part of the crowd, you notice a tiefling cry out, "Fuck you! That's my livelihood!" The crowd gets a little louder. Frost sort of starts to steam and pour from the Dragonborn's mouth, his breath weapon. He's not breathing, but it's like sort of emitting a little bit. And he fires back, "Your job relies on slavery!" And at this point, the crowd just kind of goes nuts. You see at the bleachers, at where this Dragonborn's fellows are holding signs, they get into heated arguments with the other, what are probably employees at the elemental guilds, just crying out at each other, shouting slurs. And then you hear a really loud, sort of booming voice, and suddenly the air near the bleachers kind of quiets down as this sort of chill fills the air as you look up, and you notice that this gout of frosting air just sort of like appears from someone in the crowd, and you look, and Tadias and the entire party recognizes Marshal Chanzal as he says, "That's enough!" And the crowd just sort of quiets down. He walks up to the bleachers, and you see a sharp recognition in the other White Dragonborn's eyes as he looks at Marshal Chanzal. And Marshal Chanzal sort of makes his way up to him and puts his hand on his shoulder. You watch as the other White Dragonborn, and you start to notice a very similar sharing of appearance between them, sort of slumps his shoulders. And he, Marshal Chanzal turns to the crowd, and he kind of just like has his hands up, and you also notice a couple of corporal ranked militiamen sort of just like trying to calm people down. He calls out, Marshal Chanzal, "That's enough! That's enough! We're here for fun, not to turn on each other." And you hear the other White Dragonborn beside him, "Father, this conversation must happen!" And the Marshal sort of just like puts his hand on his shoulder again, and you watch as his shoulders sort of slump. And the lankier White Dragonborn, who you have a good idea is very much related to Chanzal, starts to like say things to his fellows, and they begin to disperse. A sort of slumped down, defeated, who, by the way, did introduce himself. His name is Calexan. Slinks up to the stage where Hum is and says, "Thank you. Sorry about that." And he just sort of shies away.
I'm gonna run over and grab him by the shoulder.
"Oh, yes?" And the crowd, I need to turn off the angry mob because that's not happening anymore. The crowd just sort of like, just kind of talks among themselves in sort of angry, sort of weirdly frustrated tones. And does Hum start playing again when he kind of slinks away?
Yeah, Hum starts playing a calming tune.
Okay. Go ahead.
I also run up to the Dragonborn that was as he walked off.
Jeez.
Oh,
You didn't all the bad rolls out, I promise.
That is a natural 1.
Man,
He
It's
just keeps
just-
shaken up by the performance.
it's just
I do
unfortunate.
with, music.
Is the dice doing anything out of
Illyria is
curiosity?
so angry that the tambourine sounds horrible.
She's like, bang, bang, bang. Is the dice doing anything by chance?
I'm just kind of observing everything,
Okay.
watching the disaster.
Okay. He turns to Carahil and Zachriel, and yes, sorry. I'll get going now.
Oh, I wish to speak with you. I feel like we have a shared opinion.
All right. I'll Well, why don't we head off to the away from this crowd? They're not quite happy with me.
No, come. Once they start drinking, they'll forget all about it.
He kind of heaves a sigh. Well, at any rate, why don't we have a seat? And he kind of
Sure.
he just points to just a bleacher off to the side that seems to be empty of people. He takes a seat down on the bench and he kind of just puts his hands, or he sits down and he puts his elbows on his knees and he just cups his cheeks and then rubs his eyes. And he looks up at Zachriel, or to him. Is Carahil following?
Yeah, yes.
And he looks up at the two of you, or to you if you're sitting next to him, and he says, "I probably wasn't a good idea to do this now, but no."
During a festival that is supposed to bring everyone together, probably not, no. But, just see that your heart is in the right place. It's a
This
very
probably
important
would've-
issue.
This probably
Right.
would have been the best time to get everybody together.
Well, there are ways of going about things. Perhaps standing up and protesting that the way people have been running their lives and living their lives and creating their livelihood to immediately change is a bad idea.
He chuckles a bit. I'm a bit passionate about this. I've been for a while.
I understand. Do you speak the language?
He says, Primordial?
Yes.
I've been learning it. It's a rough go. The script is Dwarvish, and I've never learned that language.
I see. Well, if it makes you feel any better. I speak Primordial, but I can't speak Dwarvish.
He chuckles a bit. Well, it's innate in most elemental creatures.
Who are you calling a creature, boy?
And he says, well, we're all creatures.
Yes, I'm just joking.
He kind of, lets out a breath because he thought he got in some serious trouble there.
So, you want freedom for the elementals?
He says, what I'm doing here is sort of a result of my coursework. During not workshops, during
Labs.
not labs, during man, what's it called when all students of a college present their thesis, and then they have their big things all up all around.
I'm a fighter. I didn't go to school.
I'm asking character.
Character.
Presentation?
Sort of taking like master's stuff.
All right. Well, he says at our artificer presentations, elemental guilds will come to the school and poach students. And I resisted that. I wanted to finish my studies, and things got more advanced, and for some reason, every time it happened, it seemed more and more like they have emotions, they have needs and desires like you and I. It's almost as if I could see them in anguish when the ritual would bring them into the material plane.
As he's saying this, I just take the bottle and lay it on the bleacher next to him.
He doesn't really pay it any mind at that moment. He just thinks it's like a bottle of water.
See, I like to think that elementals shouldn't be treated as slaves, much like yourself. But I think they could be worked with, much as a common man, as if any Joe or Bob or whoever. See, I don't believe that the common folk would like to be down in the sewers cleaning up just as much as the elementals. But if we work hand in hand, and it is possible, and then I look at the bottle and I say, Squirt, why don't you say hello? If you want to.
He looks at his attention snaps to the bottle, and you all watch as Squirt pushes out a little tendril of water and just kind of waves it back and forth, and then it slinks back in. And then he looks at you and says, "Oh, you have a water elemental."
Yes, I guess kind of saved him. There was a nasty group about here, about the land, forcing the elementals to do their work to attack cities, travelers, merchants.
His eyes kind of get wide at that, and he says, "Doing work is bad enough, but as weapons?"
Yes, this one, I've named him Squirt, for obvious reasons. He's smaller than most elementals. I believe he may be a child.
No, that's not entirely... Well, we're not exactly sure how elementals change as they age. They don't need sleep or food. They're, well, like I said, they live on their own essence. Some people think that young elementals are actually massive creatures, and the older they get, the lesser they become.
More condensed, stronger, wiser, more powerful.
Perhaps. The theory goes that they actually lose potency, they become weaker. But that's one hypothesis. We're not entirely sure.
I don't even know what that word means, boy, so...
He looks to Carahill for help, and then he looks back at Zachary. It means a guess.
I see. Not really well book-learned, other than the ways that you should treat a noble and such. But, I'm more, if you would like, we could step over in that ring and I could take you to school.
He kind of looks at the arena, and there's a match going on, and he kind of like shakes his head and just kind of leans back away from the arena. No, thank you. I'm not really a fighter.
Seems like you're close with the marshal.
Oh, if Dragonborns could blush, he would blush. He kind of shrinks down a bit. And, he's my father.
Oh, interesting.
He this is embarrassing to say, but he encouraged me today to go ahead with this. It was sort of, it wasn't, he didn't say, "Do it, son." He said, "Follow your heart," and I did.
Well, that's as a father should do. However, I feel like, and Zachary puts his hand to his chin and starts like stroking his chin and looks kind of like up a little bit. I feel as if Marshall shouldn't really inspire a riot.
And I don't know if that was his intent. He's always supported me.
Yes, well, he's a good man. He's high in elevation as his status. I assume he had hoped that you would follow in his footsteps and join the militia.
Well, I'm not sure. I know that he said that he's proud of me, and I might as well believe him.
Well, he's your father. He has no reason to lie to you. You can trust me on that because I'm a father as well.
He sort of shrugs and nods. Sort of
anyway,
unsure what to say to that.
So, I suppose you know about the goings-on with the elementals at the What is that place, Cahill?
Don't ask me, girl. Has just as much bad memory as I do.
Clear currents.
Yes, Clear Currents.
Yes.
We're going to go there and deal with the elementals. I'm going to try to talk to them first, before any rash action has to be used. And I have to beat water elementals with a shovel.
He kind of looks at the shovel and kind of cranes his neck a little bit questioningly, but he doesn't put voice to that quizzical look.
Wait a sec. Well, do I notice it?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you notice it. It's pretty clear.
Oh. Would you like to examine this, fine piece of, whatever it is? Strange, this shovel speaks to me. I feel like...
You get a feeling from the shovel when you say whatever it is, and you just kind of get like, oh, really? Whatever it is, huh?
This bastion of, righteousness in dealing with evildoers who seek to corrupt and enslave.
When you say like righteous bastion, it gets like a humorous, like that's better, but like jokingly. But then when you say crushing like evil users of elementals or whatever it is you said, because my brain fried for a second, it's sort of just you kind of feel like a sense of it's flattered. And Calexan looks at it. So I assume you pull it out. You produce it.
I take it out and I kind of flip it in my hand and hand the handle towards him.
Sure. What? It's a shovel.
I put my hand to his shoulder and say, "Yes, he's in love with a shovel."
Come on, you're a practicer of the arcane.
Oh, all right. And he touches it and he kind of examines it. His eyes kind of widen for a second. Oh, this does have some magic to it. An enchanted shovel. That makes sense.
Yep, got it from a rock monster.
A rock monster?
Yes.
What's Arma 3?
Arma 3 is a military, a modern military simulator.
Why are you playing it in the middle of a session?
Oh, the game actually isn't open. It's just the launcher.
Got it. So he oh man, I got off track because I saw the Steam notification. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. So,
okay. All right.
It just kind of opened it. Nope.
He kind of examines it and he says, a rock monster. What? You mean like an earth elemental?
Well, I've learned that most elementals you can conversate with or understand you to a point. This creature was enslaved and was bent on killing us.
Hey, roll a history check.
All right.
You remember that you killed it before it could do absolutely anything at all.
All right, well, I don't say that, man.
I mean, you can say it.
We all make mistakes.
You can realize it afterward and then keep it to yourself.
All right. I get very puzzled for a second. My face kind of like crunches up and then it passes quickly.
He says, well, it's very interesting. An enchanted shovel is so you use this as a weapon. Oh, okay. Well, here you go.
Well, it very much enjoys killing cultists.
He just sort of blinks and he... Oh, must be some... No. He just starts thinking. He strokes his chin. I'm not really well versed in items of lore, mostly just the more modern artifice, but that is interesting.
To me, they're the only things I can do even close to what you could do, boy, are given to me as part of my heritage.
Well, of course you're...
I'm able to create flame. Ooh.
Well, yes, you're a fire genasi. That's what happens.
Yes. I would like to say like my father before me, but he is a human, so Not.
He sort of just nods. He looks to Carahel, and then he kind of looks away from the gathering of people that are still sort of happening in the plaza. He says, well, I guess I have to get going now, unless there's anything else.
Well,
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
well, my name is Zachariel Vitalis. I puff my chest out. I work here in town. I've lived here for quite a while.
Oh, you're a way shield.
Yes.
And yours? He looks at Carahel.
My name's Carahill. I'm, I guess, traveling monk now.
He says, well, he extends a hand to Zachariel, and
I take it.
he shakes your hand as he says, well, it's good to meet you both, and he offers a hand to Carahel. Thank you for...
Take us as well.
Thank you for, lifting my spirits a bit, admittedly.
And what is your name? Sorry?
Calexan.
Oh, I almost spelled it right. Holy moly.
I was nowhere close.
I had an I instead of an E.
Do you think it would be a K?
No, I had CALIE, or IXEN. Or AN, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't...
He,
Weird names. Listen, I think tomorrow, after the festival is over, we're going to go to deal with the problem at the sales.
It's only, by the way, it's only like, it's barely high noon at this point.
Oh, I think we're going to do it today. Actually, I don't know.
Sorry,
I'm not a planner. I'm a doer.
It's really mostly up to Hum and how
Battle strategy. I could talk about all day, but everything in the now is I just kind of live life as it comes.
All right.
Would you like to come with us?
Uh,
I could give you my word to your father that I will keep you safe.
he kind of, for a second he's like, I don't want to go in there, but then he just thinks for a moment, and he says, sure, I'll go in there. We'll observe, see if there's anything I can learn further.
Well, perhaps with your studies, you might be able to help me form some sort of bridge, as it were, for these elementals.
He nods. He says that
I can translate, but I'm not the best at speaking unless it comes to action.
He says that sounds like a great idea. Actually, I don't need my father's permission. I can just go with you.
Oh, you're a young man. I just would hate to anger your father. I enjoy living here.
He laughs. He says, all right, I'll tell him where I'm going. He trusts me to take care of myself. Not a fighter, but I know how to defend myself. And he kind of like, you see him like sort of like pat. He has by the way a satchel on, and he pats the satchel, and then he lifts his hand, and you see this sort of crackling energy just sort of like pass along his fingertips.
Right. Well, I'm not sure when we're going. Probably best if you speak to Dias. He's good at planning. Smart man. May actually like him. He likes magical things.
Sure.
He's that human fellow over there.
He kind of looks over, and you notice like he seems like he kind of narrows his eyes, looks at Tadias, and then looks like he thinks for a moment, and then he just kind of like shakes his head. All right, I'll stick around with you, I suppose.
Sure.
And
You sure you don't want to step into the ring and do a little sparring? No?
No.
Okay, all right. Sorry. I just love the festival. It just lifts my spirits.
Well, that's good to hear. Is Tadias doing anything? I don't want to leave you guys in the dark.
I was watching out the rest of Hum's performance, trying to hype her up as best I can with the net.
Okay.
Hum is feeling frustrated with the tune that she's playing on the loop, and she decides to pull out her pan flute, see if she gets a better performance.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another check. There it is.
There we go.
So the pan flute seems to really draw a crowd, and people are just sort of like dancing along with the music, and seems to lighten the mood of the place significantly. And Calexan looks at Zachariel and Carahill and says, well, should we head over there? Wait.
Yes. You should meet the rest of our friends.
I'd be delighted to.
It looks like Hum
Whoa.
picking up the pace a bit. Sorry, guys.
Once again, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Please
That
stand
was
by.
my cat
Oh.
knocking down my mic.
This
That's
stream
it.
is brought to you by Princes of the Apocalypse, Wizards of the Coast.
Law.
Physical copies on
That is awesome.
Amazon for $30-something.
It's just a catastrophe.
Support your local game stores.
Go to your brick and mortar for minis.
We don't have one of those here, but we do have a Sword and Shield. Kind of a cool name, but...
Is that the name of the game store?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad. Brick and mortar just means that's like what a physical store is.
I think it's Sword and Shield. I haven't been there in a long time. It's either Sword and Shield or Sword and Steel.
That's cool as hell.
One of those.
So he
Always shout out your local game stores.
shout out to
But
local.
unfortunately, the owner is a cheater, so look out.
Damn.
Don't play card games with him, because he'll pull the best cards out of the case and stomp you.
Wow.
Mm.
Bastard.
He's an asshole.
All right.
Blue Black control that asshole.
So Calexan
Anyway,
follows, or just sort of makes his way. He draws a couple dirty looks from certain people of varying races, but they don't really do anything other than just kind of like give him a sidelong, like, oh, fuck this guy kind of glance. Especially with the militiamen around, just sort of making sure that people don't get stupid. So he walks to where Tadias is, and I guess it's you guys are all together.
But when we walk towards Tadias and Primordial, I say, the Sea of Fire is hot.
look, and I look over to his buddy. So you've made friends.
Who's he directing that at?
I think that at my buddy Zachariel.
All right.
Well, someone who shares a similar opinion, and obviously, as a result of what just happened, probably doesn't have many friends here right now.
He kind of shrinks when you say that.
This is Calexan. He's a smart young boy. You just need to steer in the right direction, Tadias. He likes magical things. You like magical things. He's going to come with us to clear sails.
Clear currents.
Clear currents, yes.
Do you think that you are ready for diffusing a situation with creatures that you care so much about, potentially in a lethal manner?
He kind of blinks a little bit. He kind of detects the vibe you're giving, and he narrows his eyes for just a second, and he says, I can defend myself if necessary, and I care about my kind and humans and tieflings and elves, but if one attacks me, I'll defend myself.
you do. Recently, it feels like everyone who wears wizard robes, calls himself a mage, and occupies a cult wants to kill us with these elementals.
That's terrible.
Yes, it is.
As I've said to Zachariel, the fact that they're being used as weapons is well, it's the same as using a person against their will to fight. That
Dogs, they
material
get
plane.
scraps to fight.
What'd you say?
Feel about dogs, war dogs.
Well, they seem to have a decent deal out of it. They are fed, and it's strange. That's a good point, actually. It's hard to tell with elementals. They don't need food. They don't need sleep.
Kind of an elemental, I really couldn't tell you.
I'm sorry, you cut out a bit.
An elemental, I couldn't really tell you. What I can say, though, I think our relationship with them will change. My friend out there is killing it on that stage, so I really want to enjoy this while I can.
Sure.
In case I get drowned later.
Sure. He sort of turns away from Tadias, gives a look to Zachariel and Carahil, and just kind of listens to the music. How long are you playing for, Hum?
Well, Hum has gotten very curious about what's going on. And so, as the song starts ending, she kind of kicks her little dish that's holding the cash towards the end of the stage to kind of will people into dropping gold pieces.
All right. Unfortunately, you don't get many gold pieces. You, in addition to the 5 from Calexan, you get another gold and 9 silver in various coinage. And you can just put it in as 9 silver, but you get like a bunch of coppers and such.
Okay, and I say thank you all for being so kind. Good night.
You get a nice round of applause. And
Loud whistle and clap of a man. You want a microphone?
people seem to be in a better spirits and they disperse, and some people go to the arena to watch fights, and some people go to the meager food stands around and get a bite to eat and such and such. The area in front of the stage is mostly clear, other than you guys.
Kind of lean up against it.
I think everything you just said was cut out.
I love that. I just kind of lean up to the stage and say, "How'd you do,
It's not so great. So in total, I got 20 gold pieces and 9 silver pieces.
Good job.
It is what it is.
It sounds like these lot are ready to deal with these water elementals. You game?
Always. So what's with the troublemaker?
Hey, troublemaker. I like that name. I'll try to. No, he's been invited.
Huh.
He could be useful.
And at this point, I'm certain that at least Calexan and is starting to like wander up to the stage. Is Zachariel and Carahil wandering up as well?
Yeah, I won't.
The entire party is together now.
Yeah.
And
So Zachariel, who's your friend?
Well, this is Calexan. He's a determined young man, I assume. He wishes to stop the enslavement of elementals. And
Illyria sort of gives him a glance that could be interpreted as a glare. And he kind of shrinks back a little bit. He looks at Hum, and her natural charisma sort of intimidates him as well.
She smiles at him. I like your troublemaking tendencies, kid.
He kind of takes a breath and he says, well, I didn't really intend to make trouble. I just kind of got ahead of myself.
Happens to me all the time.
Does.
He gives a somewhat toothy dragonborn smile.
So why don't we go find about what's going on with these elementals?
Sure. I'll follow you guys. So, you guys start to make your way back to the industrial district. I'm calling it like 20 different names, but it's the place where the elemental guilds are.
North.
What? What did you say?
Water. We want to go to the waterbending tribe of the north.
Oh, you're making a joke. You are cutting out pretty bad, Miles.
I think my connection says RTC disconnected, but I think it's my microphone doing that for some reason.
Nope, that's a Discord issue.
Oof.
May need to restart Discord or change. Mike, you might need to, or whoever's the owner of the server
That's
may need to change his location.
Where's the
Better?
Not really.
I'll change the.
What's in the central area?
I got connected now. I got 3 bars.
There we go.
Sound a little bit better.
Welcome back.
All right. So, what was everything you tried to say, Miles?
Nothing. Just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
So,
So, what are you guys doing?
proceeding northward with my party to clear currents. Does anyone else have anything to do on the way?
I picked Squirt up, by the way. I didn't leave him on the bench.
I assume that you grabbed the bottle. All right, so you guys are.
I look at my belt buckle and start thinking of names.
What'd you say, Hum?
I keep poking fun at Calexan, just trying to get him out of his shell a little bit. I say to him, so are you known for causing riots? Is this your first one, or is this something you do every day?
No. I just, well, had the group that was here with the signs. They're my classmates. Many of them are my classmates. Some are other friends from different classes. And we started talking it out, and well, we all sort of feel the same way.
That's cool.
So
it's interesting for you to say that.
He looks at Tadias.
No, it's always mages that seem to be the most cruel to such creatures.
Oh, he says in some places, maybe, and stories and such. I think you're cutting out a lot. I might have missed like half of what you said, Miles.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try to fix some things. You guys go on for a second, right?
All right. So you guys go north. I'll just take you there. With the power of just
Clicking?
The power of clicking. The power of select drag. And I need to move the other window. Alright. Why don't we take 5 while Miles fixes it? Alright. You guys arrive at Clear Currents, a small, what looks like a small squad of militiamen stationed outside, along with Marshal Gorbash, the Goliath. He sees a lot of you approaching, and he says, you're gonna try your hand, are you?
We got
Yeah.
this.
Zachariel, and I say, the sea fire's hot.
He says, the biggest trouble we've had with them is that, some of them seem to resist our weapons. Doesn't seem to cut as much as it should.
Hmm.
But
Doing a lot of cutting while you've been here.
Have you tried speaking to them yet, Gorbash?
I popped in and said hello. They didn't take kindly to that.
I say hello to him in Primordial.
Oh. I don't know that language.
I then teach him, or try to teach him the phrase, the sea of fire is hot.
Do you tell him that's what the phrase is?
No.
Oh god, what does that mean?
Tell him, Tadias.
He's trying to teach me, son, that salutations and greetings.
He has no reason to distrust you, so I won't make you roll. I won't make you roll deception. So he says, in Primordial, he says the sea of fire is hot, and he kind of like gives a little bow.
I just nod and like smile a little, and
Do we hear Squirt chuckling?
You don't hear him chuckling.
Proper.
But Hum recognizes the phrase enough after Tadias has said it over and over that it's not hello and salutations.
Hum is just kind of chuckly.
He looks at Hum and he
You
says,
physical?
What's so funny?
I'm just so glad you're learning the primordial language.
Alright, now you need to roll a deception check. You have high charisma. There you go. He says, he blinks and he says, "Oh, well, perhaps we might, the militia might reach out and ask you to teach
me.
when you have time." He says, "Well, the academy, professors at the academy won't. They have too much on their plate already. Although I suppose you have a lot on your plate too."
Right, finding my family and stuff. Yeah. When I come back.
Priorities, obviously.
When I come back, Tadias will be a scholar as well, and he will be my aide.
Liberal term in this case.
Can Hum now, since she's heard the sea fire's hot so many times, can she say it now?
Yeah, sure.
So she says that to
It's like learning
Gorbash,
gracias.
and then she says it to Gorbash, and she says, "Let's get this done."
He responds in kind, and he says, "By all means." So there's like the regular lobby entrance, and you can see inside with the sunlight, and it just looks empty. It looks like there's a couple of chairs thrown here and there, and when you start to walk in, do you walk in?
Yeah.
When you walk in, it smells kind of mildewy because things have been wet. Actually, the only mildewy thing you smell is what looks like a cushioned chair, but the floor is tiled with a blue ceramic tile. Somebody had some stylish impulse here, it seems.
Is it
Hey,
slippery?
It's not really slippery. It seems like there's enough mortar that's exposed to provide enough grip to where you don't. I'm not going to make you make checks or anything.
Okay.
Hey, Zachariel, do you think our friend Squirt might be helpful?
I think he's going to be invaluable in this diplomatic mission.
Maybe we could talk to him about talking to the elementals with us.
I actually didn't even think about that.
I'm just thinking it might be Squirt knows that we're kind, and maybe he could help us from them becoming immediately defensive.
Yes, as long as someone doesn't throw their dagger.
Only make mistakes once. If I make them again, I give you full liberty to sock me in the face. Agreed?
I would never do that to you.
Lie poorly.
You'll just hire me to do it.
Alright, well, at the very least,
Professor, just us.
Squirt, would you like to talk to your kin?
He sort of jiggles the bottle around, and in Primordial, he kind of like pushes out a little tendril because he needs it in order to actually speak the language. And the Aquan dialect of Primordial, he splooshes and splashes and says, I'll try.
That's the spirit.
So as you sort of foray a little bit more in there, there's some ambient lighting on the walls. It's sort of a dim light in here.
Does my hair light the hallway a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Just in front of me?
Yeah, a little bit. I need to find a token for Calexan. I might have to actually just make one real quick. But because I didn't foresee this.
We would like to remind you all, this session has been brought to you by Mike, the DM, Wizards of the Coast,
One DM.
for the
I'm an employee of
base
Wizards of the Coast.
this. Wow.
Sorry.
Look, discounts. Do you have a code? Can you get me in the MTG Arena beta thing?
I'll get you into. I'll get you a free copy of Eberron's whatever Wayfarer's
Oh,
Guide to
alright.
Eberron.
Yeah, 10% off code. See if fire's hot.
Promo code in the bottom. Check out the chat.
Damn it.
At the same time, I'm gonna pull out one of my ball bearings, cast light on it, and hand this Squirt.
Oh, here we go.
In case
Perfect.
you need to see.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. You
I
you cast light on.
ball bearing on one of my ball bearings, and I like kind of drop it into Squirt, so it's kind of floating in him.
That's awesome. Holy shit! This token's amazing.
In before Mike makes a new character.
Hold on, you'll see it in a second.
That's all it takes, dude.
He's literally a dragon.
I already did that.
Aw.
Just one of the heads of Tiamat, you know.
I would rather you just draw a quick white dragon board and make that a token, because I think that'd be more hilarious.
Well, you should have said that earlier. I'm already in this.
So it's good. I didn't expect him to come with us.
Me neither. But I like where it's going, so we're gonna roll with it.
You should totally take a picture of the Dragonborn my daughter drew for her
Ooh.
character on Sundays. It's the most adorable thing ever.
Yeah, you need to take a picture of that. I want to see.
I will. I will.
I would say do it now, but
Do it now.
do it now.
She's 16,
Damn
and
it.
so I'm going to have to convince her that it's okay that other people see her drawings.
Oh, she doesn't even know us. It'll be fine.
Hell yeah, I wouldn't let other people look at my drawings because they're stick figures.
Oh no, she's good. She's really good. I should show you guys the little Tigger and
You
who
should,
she drew the other day.
You should make her draw the party.
I don't know that she's that interested.
You gotta stoke the flames of that D&D passion, kiddies. Come on.
Oh no, she has the D&D passion. Her Dragonborn is pretty cool character there.
I know something about cool dragonborns.
Oh yeah. You sure do. All right.
My dragonborn, so she's literally cool too.
Token.
My dragonborn is now Tiamat.
He's not wrong.
Mm.
All right. So you guys enter. the doors are sort of open, and the door into the hall from the lobby is open, and you sort of do you proceed into the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Rubbish. You might want to stay here. You have upset them probably. New faces might be well acquainted.
Who did you direct that to?
Telling him to, maybe sit outside since his men have been stabbing these things.
I don't think Robash is with us.
So I'd assume he'd still be outside with us.
Oh, yeah. We had stepped
He just
into
walked
the
off. He was
foyer.
just like, "Oh, you're good."
Oh no,
Pretty sure we should.
he's still outside, but I'm assuming that you've entered the lobby and then forayed further into the.
Okay, down. All right, gotcha. So I with the ball bearing, I throw it in, squirt. Now he's a glowy little like disco ball, a puddle.
That's amazing.
I
So
guess.
he is certainly following you. So let's see here.
Oh, I posted in Chit Chat her Tigger and Pooh she was sketching the other day, just for you guys.
Cute.
You lead with this. I don't really think I'm the best for these cases.
The wonderful thing about a ticket is a ticket is a wonderful thing.
Okay, so you enter this sort of wide hallway. It's about 15 feet wide, and as I need better music. Actually, yeah, River. Nope, not that one. So as you enter, you sort of get the you hear water rushing from down the hall. You get the idea that it might be just one of the workshop experiments, maybe. You walk down this wide hallway, and the room sort of opens up, and I will bring you guys there now. So as you guys enter this room, you see a door on your left and door on your right. They look like they just enter into some offices, and all right, one moment. All right, so now I'm going to make sure that this is working. All right. So you kind of look around, and then you hear this sploosh, sploosh, sploosh coming from the hallway ahead of you, and sort of that's not the right one. Sort of coming out from the whoa. What was that ping for?
Oh my god.
What?
A Dragonborn token?
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Very nice. He's one cool customer.
Spiffy, yes.
He's one cool dude. All right. So, sort of coming out from the sort of obscured, slightly darker hallway, you see these guys come out, and they sort of advance, and they sort of advance into the room, and they sort of look at you curiously, and then they start to like move toward you. What do you do?
I say, Primordial, we mean you no harm. We wish to speak.
So you say that, and you look, and something is very different about these guys. Very different from Squirt. You look at them, and you see this sort of these tendrily black swirling what look like this other fluid dissolved in the water that makes them up, kind of flowing around. And when you call out to them in Primordial, the sort of smoky darkness in each of them just sort of like beats a little bit and gets bigger, and you hear one of them cry out back at you. You hear them cry out back to you. Kill, kill, destroy. Roll initiative. And by the way, you guys can set up your tokens however you want, within reason. I just had to put them all there.
Okay, well, I would have been not in the back line.
Yeah. Go ahead and set up your tokens as you see fit.
All the 12s.
All the 12s.
By water.
Alright. Well, let's roll initiative. Actually, let's make sure that they're whispered. Yep. Let's get some music rolling. Alright. Let me sort this, and then... Why the fuck are you labeled as that? That's weird. Alright, for some reason you're showing up in my turn tracker as Aarakocra, and I'm not sure why. But we're not gonna... yeah. So, this one, advances onto Dias immediately, swooshes over to him, and takes up your space. And, I need you to make me a strength save. So you save, and you just feel this, you feel the water sort of like flow over you, and looks like you feel like the pressure increases as it tries to constrict, but Tadias just bursts out of it, and the water elemental reforms over here, and that's its turn.
Before we go further, are Calexan, Illyria, and Squirt fighting?
Squirt is not going to fight.
Yeah, I would have had squirt in the bottle.
Okay.
Just kind of like peeking out. So
that means that the bottle has that light in it then?
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure they would get into the turn order before we went on.
Yeah, no, they're not going to fight if they can't help it. This one is going to run up to Zachriel, trying to get into his space, and douses his flame hair a little bit. And Zachriel needs to make a strength save. Alright, you don't save. You take 7 bludgeoning damage and you're grappled. You're also restrained and you are unable to breathe. Alright. So you're trapped. This one is going to run up to Hum and try to drown her. I need a strength save from Hum.
Oh, she's gonna drown.
Yeah. So you take 9 bludgeoning damage. As you're restrained. Hum, what would you like to do?
I'm not sure what... I'm also grappled, right?
You are grappled. You're grappled and restrained. I believe you have something that gives you an edge on escaping.
I'm at a loss. Hold on, let me check.
That feat, squat nimbleness.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember it exactly, so you'll have to look it up. Oh wow, it gives you expertise. I didn't realize that. Holy crap. Alright, so it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna try to break free of this.
Alright, go ahead and make your acrobatics roll. Alright, you break free. You're over here now. What would you like to do next?
That was my action, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say that's my turn.
Okay, Zachariel.
So, game question.
Yeah.
If I'm being engulfed by a creature, am I able to attempt to shove it? Just give me a quick ruling on that.
Sure. Yeah, it's like swimming for this. So yeah, sure.
Alright, well, I'm going to attempt to shield mastery shove it off me.
All right.
Alright.
Nice. You do shield master shove it off. You sort of like you get a good grip on it with the shield, and a lot of its form goes off enough to where it has to reform in front of you. And it is not prone though, but it is off of you.
Yeah, I was just shoving it. There's something wrong with them. They're corrupted, and then I just swing the shovel.
All right. That is a miss, unfortunately.
Alright.
All right, Tadias.
That's it for me.
Go away, Squirt, and I'm going to pop out Rezier and try to stab at the one next to me.
Okay. That is a
I'm going
miss.
to improvise that, son.
All right.
Okay.
That is a hit.
Then magic.
Yep. 11 piercing. All right. You seem to disrupt this thing significantly, and it sort of motions to attack you again. It's on its turn. I'm going to roll for
And
Illyria.
My offhand as well.
Okay, go ahead.
This will be the hand axe.
What was the damage? Or what was the hit? I'm looking at something else.
That was 12. That misses.
12 misses. Alright, I'm gonna roll for Illyria real quick. Wish she was here.
Drop one of the little watery tendrils next to my neck, and I just kind of like push him back a little bit and get ready to fight.
Alright, so she's next, but Valora will go because Beastmaster. Okay. So Valora is going to assist Tadias come over here and attempt to bite. And it hits for a little bit as it tries to bite into the water. This thing, and like, you know when a dog puts their mouth up against a hose? That kind of happens a little bit. So that was their turn. So let's get back in the turn order. Carahill.
Alrighty. Unsure what to do to harm floating water. I will try and stab it with my sword.
Alright. That is a hit.
Alright.
For 9. You find that your short sword slashes through it, and it kind of doesn't take much with it.
With my bonus action, I will also try to punch into it, I guess.
Alright. That is a miss.
Alright.
Alright. This one is going to advance onto Illyria and try to engulf her. Zachariel, you get an attack of opportunity should you choose it.
Hell yeah.
Alright. That's a hit.
And I'm gonna make that a goading attack.
Alright.
So I need a DC 14 wisdom save.
Okay.
And I get to add superiority die.
That's another 3, and he is successfully goaded, so he looks to you, and then comes over and tries to swamp you instead. I need a strength save.
Yep.
Does he move out of my range when he does that?
Yes, actually. Alright, that's a hit, roll damage. He's just getting beat up a little bit here.
I
But
assume that 12 is a fail.
the 12 is a fail as you are engulfed. It is Illyria's turn, top of the order. She sees what happens, and she is going to She's in a tricky spot right now, so she just commands Valora to attack again. Misses. Alright. This one is focused on Tadias and is going to attempt to attack him.
Mike, how much damage did I take from the...
Oh, you took 9.
Okay.
Alright. He is going to attempt to hit you. 14 misses. Tadias, as the tendril sort of reaches out and you kind of just smack the water away. Alright. This one is going to attack Zachariel with advantage. 19 to hit.
That is a meat. Yep.
You take 8 bludgeoning.
Alright.
Alright. This one is going to attempt to slam Hum with a watery pseudopod. 13 to hit.
That is a miss.
Alright. Zachariel,
It's a miss.
it's your turn.
Alright, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to attempt to shove this one.
Okie dokie.
Things are not going well for me. Click.
That is enough as you push him over here.
Oh, focus your fire! And I will again swing at... Actually, I'll swing at the one next to here.
Okay. That's a hit. Solid 11 damage. Alright. Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, as he swings the shovel, I'm swinging to non-lethal these guys, by the way.
Okay.
I just say, there's something wrong here. They're not acting against, they're acting against their free will. They keep saying kill. And that's it.
Okay. Hum, what are you doing?
So Hum's gonna try to use one of her spells.
Alright.
So she casts blindness, deafness at the guy standing right next to her.
Okay.
I'll put it up.
Yes. Spell card, please. Alright. What is this? A con save. Alright, he fails. So you, and yeah, they're not immune to that condition, so they cannot see. Alright. Good turn. Tadias, or are you going to do anything with your bonus action?
I don't have a whole lot of bonus action stuff. I'm going to throw inspiration over at Tadias.
Alright.
Right, I think we've abused this one the most among all of us, and seeing Zachariel kind of go non-lethal, I flip Rezier and I kind of take the backhand of it and I just bring it across it.
Okay. That's a hit. That's 10 piercing. As you bludgeon it with the pommel. It starts to, it seems to waver a little bit. Water is dripping off of it. It looks like it's having trouble keeping its form together.
Hand of my hand axe on the other hand.
That is a miss.
Right.
You also have inspiration.
Exactly what I say.
Alright.
I'm trying to beat you out to it. So it's a D6, I believe?
Yes. That is enough to hit.
2 damage, I guess.
2 damage. Alright. This thing is dripping and it seems to, like, a big drop splooshes on the ground and then just kind of like reforms. It doesn't look like it's long. And in response, it's going to attempt to attack. So it's going to try to punch you in the face. That's a 9. Oh, sorry, it was. Go for it.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna do the usual sword and punch.
Are you attacking the one in front of you?
Yeah.
You have advantage.
Oh, do I? Cool.
He's blinded.
I don't think I'll roll high.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
blind
try
and deaf.
try for the crit. Nope. Alright.
Alrighty. And 8 piercing.
Okay.
Damage on this as well. There we
you
go. Oh, I got this
And
roll.
that is the
Roll
crit.
again.
All right. Solid.
Nice 16 damage.
All right. Water starts to drip off of this one as well. Illyria goes next, and she directs Valora to circle around this one, being wary of it, and is going to attack that one there, and tries to take a chomp out of it. Hits. Ooh. And Valora bites into this thing and seems to disrupt it enough to where it ends, and it just sort of splooshes on the ground as lifeless water.
Did it want to do anything before it died?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
It did do something before it died. It rolled a 19 against Tadias. And Tadias took 4 bludgeoning. And right after it hit Tadias with that meager damage, Valora came in and just bit it out of existence. Thank you.
No problem.
So that was Illyria. Now the one next to Tadias. Let's see here. Alright. He's going to attempt to punch Tadias. Misses with a 10. The one in front of Zachariel goes. Tries to punch him with his watery, well, water fist, sort of. 16 to hit.
Miss.
Alright.
I will riposte.
You'll riposte. That's a hit. Solid hit.
Solid. Whoosh, as I pancake the water.
Oh yeah. And then the water splatters all over the place and kind of feels cold because it's water. Can you key off blindness deafness again, Hum, please?
Yes.
Can't
Take make the
its
save at the end
turn.
of the turn.
At the end of its turn? Okay. So, with disadvantage, he's going to attempt to... he's going to attempt to strike out at Hum with a 7. And he's going to
He
try to
misses.
save. And he does. He's no longer blinded. Zachariel, it is your turn.
Alright, I am going to swing. Actually, I guess I don't really know a lot about these creatures, so I'm going to try to knock it prone.
Okay.
I attempt to knock the one attacking Hum.
Okay. Strength. Alright, so you shove it, trying to... You angle your weight so that you push him down instead of across 5 feet. And it sort of like splats down on the ground for a second, and then backs closer to Hum with the momentum, and then it just kind of pops back up.
Okay.
Nonplussed.
Alright. And I miss.
And you miss. And even with the flanking, you miss, yeah. Hum, it's your turn.
Hum is going to go ahead and strike with her rapier.
Alright.
I should have just gone with the spell.
I am sorry. You connect, but it doesn't seem to do any damage to it. Kind of looks over at you. Tadias, it's your turn.
Sidestep and whip myself into this corner, and then I try to knock the back of this elemental.
Alright. As a hit. 11 piercing as you slam your trommel through this thing, almost shearing off a lot of its water, dripping to the ground.
The hand axe back end of it.
That's a hit. Don't you get something
Damage
for
is
that?
that
Oh,
damage?
you rolled a 1. Wow, okay. Okay.
Get my modifier on those.
Yep. Carahel.
Alrighty. Fairhill this time is going to do. Oh yeah, same thing as before. Do the same
All right.
watery beam.
Okay. You seem to be carving more and more away at this. Go ahead.
All right, and then one unarmed strike.
Do you use your tail? That's a hit.
I'm using my fist.
All right. Solid. All right. This one's gone. It is Illyria's turn. Valora is going to now turn her attention to this one. Try to bite it again. That's a hit for 8 piercing. Good job, Laura. It's its turn. It's going to turn. Actually, Tadias did more damage to it, so it's going to try to attack Tadias. Oh, with a natural 1. So it tries to move toward you, but it doesn't seem to have the stuff.
I feel more and more guilty as this goes on.
This one's going to attack Zachriel with a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Yep. Dealing... Oh, that was a crit. 10 damage.
Oof.
And this one is going to... Alright. It seems invigorated a little bit. You see the darkness within it sort of beat and kind of grow a little bit, and it tries to subsume Hum. I need a strength save from Hum. Alright, you save. So you are ejected over here. That's its turn. Zachriel, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna take a step over here
Alright,
and attack this one.
okay. That's a hit.
Lethal, of course.
Alright, you don't do enough damage, but it is barely holding itself together.
And then I would like to steal my resolve. Second win.
Alright. Hum. Nice roll.
Hum sees this going on, and she has decided she is going to viciously mock this guy here.
Okay. Wisdom save. He does not save. What do you
She
say, Hum?
says, "The sea of fire is hot in Primordial."
You somehow trigger this ancient shared memory inside this elemental, and you seem to convince it that it's being dropped into the Great Conflagration. I don't know how to say that word. And steam rises from it, and it just sort of drops into a puddle, lifeless. You killed it. Congratulations. Every campaign.
Monster.
Yeah, there's always one of those. Vicious mockery to death.
And killed it.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Everyone has their first time killing with vicious mockery. Tadias, it's your turn.
It's gonna be boring and I guess hit it with a pommel.
Alright.
I can mock it to death.
That's not boring. You rolled a crit. Come on now.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so you try to be non-lethal about this, thinking that, maybe bludgeoning it with a side will be not as bad as slicing it with the blade, but you find that as you strike this blow, the energy that sort of kept the water together dissipates, and it turns into a little puddle, lifeless. Carrot Hill, it's your turn. Oh, unless you got more to do today, I'm sorry.
I do. I'm gonna run in here and I'm gonna whack this one with the offhand.
Alright. That is a hit.
Hurrah!
Okay. Now it's Carrot Hill's turn.
I am going to move here to this one, of course.
Okay.
And while doing so, since this is my first time remembering that I have this trait, thank you, I'm going to get Carol gets the inspiration to take her sword with her tail, and then she's going to use both of her fists to punch into this guy that's left.
All right. That's a miss.
All right.
That's a hit.
There we go.
All right. Water starts to drip off of this thing as it grows a little bit weaker. That one's gone. Illyria commands her faithful pet to come over here, and he is flanking. He's going to attempt to attack. That is that's a hit with flanking. Wow. Just bites into this thing, tears off a lot of the water, and some of the water stays on the ground and doesn't reform back into the elemental. That one's not the order. It's that one's turn. So it seems to be very angry as it sort of tries to gather its strength. Does not gather its strength enough and is just going to lash out at Tadias. 23 to hit.
I'll do it.
7 bludgeoning.
Ouchies.
Alright, it is Zachariel's turn.
Alright, Zachariel is going to bring the shovel around
Bring it around town.
and miss.
Downtown.
And miss. It's your turn.
I'm just looking at Zachariel, who's looking a little tired, so she's gonna cure wounds.
Looking super bloody.
Super bludgeon indeed. Watery.
Saturated.
Saturated. Nice roll.
There you go.
Alright. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Alright.
I have a question for you after the game. I think that I can make a weapon attack because I cast a bard spell, but I want to make sure.
What's the spell? I would know immediately.
Oh, the spell I just cast.
No.
I think that's only the what's it called?
That's Eldritch. That's an Eldritch Knight thing.
Oh no, it's Valor. Never mind. It's not my it's not my
So
college.
that's-
Never
got
mind.
it. Okay. Anything else? Are you in bonus action or anything?
I'm done.
All right, Tadias.
I'm done.
I was like punched in the face by this water, so I kind of whip my blonde hair back, do the little Maybelline pose, and then just bring the dagger down right on his head.
Excellent. That's a hit. All right. It's dripping and drapping. Anything else?
No.
That is a hit. All right. A little less dripping and drapping. Carahel.
All right, Carol is going to do the same as last time.
That is a miss. Oh no, that's a hit with flanking.
All right.
Okay. You tear into this thing, trying to destroy it, or at least make it not move anymore.
And then bonus action.
That's a hit. All right.
Another step. And with it still being alive,
Yep.
I'm going to spend a key point
Okie doke.
for flurry of blows. Yeah, it's just one. And cast an extra and throw another punch at it.
All right. That is a miss.
And that'll end
Illyria.
my
All right. Illyria is going to command Valora to attack again. Man, Valora's putting in work. And Valora just kills the thing. It dissolves and falls into a puddle. And as the water elementals fall and become these puddles of lifeless regular water, you watch as they sort of like the sort of weird tendrily dark energy you saw starts to sort of dissipate, and it looks like it disappears.
Craig,
Alright.
what was in them?
Well, I don't know, but it wasn't good. And as part of that, I can see where this is going. I look around at all the puddles. And I'll walk over to Calexan and say, here, take Squirt and wait in the foyer.
All right. That was interesting. He takes Squirt, and they make for the lobby.
Is Squirt okay?
Well, I don't think it's good if we're killing his kin. So... And the boy probably hasn't seen a lot of death. And he's trying to lobby for freedom for these creatures.
It's hard to lobby for freedom when they're attacking.
Yes, I only wish I had some ability to purify water. Anyway,
You watch Calexan walk with the bottle that Squirt's in, and he kind of like leans against the wall, and you see like he kind of strokes the top of his head, because Dragonborns don't have hair up there, and he just kind of like heaves a sigh and keeps walking to the lobby.
Calexan,
Yes?
listen, I walk up to him. Listen, there's no need to sigh. These creatures are attacking us. There's something wrong with them. Unfortunately, I didn't want to kill any of them.
Well,
But
you-
I feel like you don't need to see that. And I'm talking here, boy.
he clams up.
I feel like, unless you disagree, it would be better if you didn't watch what we're going to do.
He says, he says,
If you would like to come, you can.
He says, I think I've seen enough. I have certain, I have ideas. This is an interesting... There's something about them that isn't normal.
Right. Please take good care of Squirt.
Of course.
He likes to play, be careful. And,
keep that in mind. Alright. So...
Khalil,
Hmm?
can you ask Squirt for my ball?
Oh, Squirt, do we have that? And I point inside the bottle.
Wait. Oh, you want the bottle?
No,
For my
the
little ball bearing.
Oh, yeah, he reaches out of the bottle with a little arm tendril, and the ball bearing floats up to the top, and he offers it to you.
Kind of grab it, and I look at Calix, and I say, it's creatures like that we want to protect. It's people causing this, not elementals. We'll take care of this.
Zachariah, can you ask Squirt if he's ever seen anything like this before?
I do as she says.
He replies, no. No.
he says no.
Please tell him that we mean the elementals no harm, and we would not have attacked unless they attacked. But they attacked us first.
I say that to him.
A few moments pass, and then in Primordial, the Aquan dialect, he responds, and he says, sort of puts together this sentence, and he isn't exactly sure the right words, but what he says is, don't let them hurt you.
Interesting. You're a good boy, Squirt.
A little
I
bit
say
of
Primordial.
a little, like a happy little like water gargle.
And then I turn over my shoulder to Dias and I say, the Sea of Fire is hot.
That's my fucking catchphrase of the campaign. No, I love it.
The title.
I already gave that an episode title.
Oh, okay. Well, this will be part 2.
This is the saga title. The Sea of Fire is out.
Until we run into whatever fire cult is trying to burn us alive.
And then it's gonna be like earth is
The first.
stones are hard.
Only
Um,
you can prevent forest fires.
Right. So, do you guys move on? You still hear the same sort of sound of sloshing water, and it sounds like there might be like a burst pipe or something.
Don't imagine we're going to find peaceful individuals in there.
Doesn't mean we
You
can't
think?
try. It's corruption. You saw it, it dissipated after they were slain. I like to think we could probably do it without killing them, but it's not worth putting our lives on the line for sure.
Check to know how I would like expunge an evil, like, possession of a creature.
Roll a roll religion.
Use these butt.
Let's see.
That's probably not gonna give me one, so.
Nah, you're not really clear. You haven't encountered anything like this before.
Couldn't help it. What I can tell you is that we have items that will allow our weapons to do more damage. It might be time to start thinking this around.
It would be a really good idea.
Yes, we also need to work on battle strategy. We're spreading our damage out. We need to focus. I say that as I almost died.
I kind of look at his thinning, like, fire hair, thanks to all the washing. Yes, this would not be too bad idea.
Yes, I don't know much about books or magic, but a knack for battle strategy.
Having capable partners, I'm usually alongside scholarly individuals that need protecting.
Well, in my pack here, I'm still carrying those whetstones.
Well, those might be useful.
Or the elemental rosins. I have
Those are the
1
best
fire,
ever.
2 cold, 2 lightning, and 1 acid.
I feel like lightning's probably the most adept. Maybe acid. I don't know. Tadias, what do you know about these water elementals?
Would not be the most wise of decisions. But I feel like you and I are already effective as is, but if Caryhill could enchant our sword or perhaps our horns again, there could be much more effectiveness, I believe.
Can we use them on Valor's fangs?
I don't know how Nyx would react to that. That's funny.
And rub it onto her cat for 5 minutes.
Can you make your cat sit still for 5? Oh, I mean, he is trained, and he will follow commands to the best of his ability. So,
Do we know if it will hurt him?
I'm not certain, but lightning-mouthed panther sounds pretty
Horrifying. Yes,
Dangerous. What about the cold? I mean, cold against water.
Yes. I imagine we don't want to use fire. For obvious reasons.
Cold and lightning would be the most effective.
From my knowledge of otherworldly beings, lightning would probably be the best.
Well, I feel like water, lightning, and water don't mix well, and the floor is wet, and we could end up getting shocked.
oh man, you guys are overthinking this.
Typically, in those otherworldly beings, lightning does the most damage, while cold is not very effective.
And you come in and no.
Don't apply Pokemon logic to D&D. You're gonna have a bad time.
What are you talking about? I don't get little rats that shoot lightning to do 2 times damage against these,
Are you trying to say that spearmen aren't better against swordsmen?
That's not what I'm saying at all, because that's a fact.
What about shovelmen? Where do we fall in the pyramid?
With the rest of the peasants.
All right, I'll show you.
A
All right,
spoon
so
against a knife.
what do you guys do? Are you guys going to apply any rosin or anything? You're not going to get... I mean, I'll just say this. You're not going to get, like, jumped if you start putting on rosin. You've been standing around talking and nothing's happened, so...
Well, out of character, will the rosin work on the panther?
Well, I mean, I fucking let it work on Carrot Hill, so yeah, sure, it'll work on Valora.
I mean, probably go for pausies over bitesies.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Maybe claws instead of the fangs.
I just look at Illyria and I look at Valora and I look back at the rosin.
Yeah, sure, she says. And you guys give Valora a fucking manicure with elemental rosin. Which one are you
Which
using?
one we
Ground. I put the bag on my ground and I make a little scratching post that you scratch against it for 5 minutes.
That's hilarious. What one do you use? Which one are you using? I'm editing the macro.
I think we have 2 colds and 1 lightning, right?
We have 2 colds, 2 lightnings, and 1 fire, 1 acid.
A lightning or a cold, so you guys want to just flip forward or do you want to just pick one?
I really like the idea of lightning claws.
Lightning claws just for the appearance of them, honestly. That's the real
Right.
reason I was. So I say 1 lightning rosin per kitty.
What? One
One lightning rosin for the kitty.
Okay. You said per kitty. I was like, there's more than one. What? Okay. Got it. It is done.
Is anybody else taking a rosin?
Well, this might be the time for you as well if you feel like you need it.
Yeah, I'll take one.
What are you taking?
I'll take. You said there's 1 more lightning left.
Yes, there is.
All right, I'll take that one.
Zap, zap.
While they're doing that, I kind of look over at him and I say, there's probably no way to be non-lethal about the situation.
It doesn't look like it.
Position, don't be afraid to use that wand.
I totally forgot about it.
Very potent.
Alright, so are you guys going to foray further into the Clear Currents building?
Enough time for... Oh no, a short rest is an hour. Do you guys
mean,
want a short rest or...
You guys can if you want. It doesn't seem like anything's come out so far. It's up to you guys.
I have a visitor at the moment.
For a short rest then.
If we're going to rest, shouldn't we have rested before applying the rosin?
You
I
can
thought
do
we
that.
were resting
thinking-
while we were doing the rosin.
Well, they only last an hour, and I'll just assume that you do that, you know, whatever. It's fine.
4 hours.
Yeah, the page says 4 hours.
Okay.
Oh,
and
4
I
hours,
actually,
then, yeah, whenever. You may optimize your order of actions in this case.
Alright, I'll take little nappy poos. Lightning.
And whom plays the song for you all?
You gotta roll a hit die to benefit.
You gotta roll that d6 too. Blah, blah, blah.
It's plus your con hum, just so you know.
Okay.
So you add your constitution modifier to that. And here is Hum's Song of Rest, courtesy of me.
Based on how it was going, I equipped my shield in Rezier.
Okay.
I reread Rezier. I forgot it doesn't make noise when I hit things with it.
So all those splashes were totally silent. The water just kind of flew off.
Okay.
I hit things with it and just make no noise. It's funky fresh.
That's a really good item for a rogue.
Yeah, like an assassin rogue. That'd be perfect.
All right. So tell me when you guys are ready.
What do I roll for the wand of magic missiles? I forgot.
Spell card.
Isn't it charged? Are you talking about just add the charges or the damage?
The damage.
Uh,
D4 plus 1 per bolt.
yeah.
A level 1, you cast 3 bolts, so it'd be 3d4 plus 3. You cast above that base 1, you add another bolt to it, and a bolt is 1d4 plus 1. Maximum amount of damage possible. Each turn you cast level 1 and you keep level 1ing it. If you want just maximum in like one turn, you just do everything but one charge and you just blast at your highest level.
Okay. So I could.
So if you like don't.
So I could roll a 64 plus 6, and just shoot it at one person.
You could.
Could do
As
that.
long as I save the one charge, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you don't have, but better option, like for that like turn, if you don't want to cast like a bigger spell, each one of those like 6 charges you can use can become another 3 if you cast them per turn.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! I had the "Our adventure will continue shortly" thing up for that entire encounter. Whoops.
Oh no, you had it up the whole time?
Yeah, that's okay. No, we didn't get any, or we didn't lose any audio or anything. It's just kind of like, why is it there? They're continuing anyway. All right. Do
Well, at
you?
least this time we had the audio.
Yes.
It works.
Do you need any more help with the wand of magic missiles, kitties?
I think I understand it now.
All right. So
I would just add the spell to your spell sheet, honestly, and make it easier for your life.
yeah, you can just drag and drop it on. From the compendium. So you guys foray, finished resting, applying your rosin, and you guys keep track of that. You guys explore a couple more rooms. Most are sort of empty. Refuse, not refuse, but broken equipment sort of lies strewn across the ground, totally worthless as it is. Then you come across one door, and cute puppy. You come across a door and it has a window in it with a chicken wire framing in the window, and you look in. Who's in front leading? What's your marching order like?
Me!
All right. Zachariah, you look into the window, and you see what otherwise might be funny, a bunch of water elementals that are actually quite small, jumping around, knocking over tables, pushing around old, what looks like what was once valuable arcane equipment that is now broken beyond repair, just sort of making a mess of this room.
I'd like to apologize in advance. I look in the window, and I turn and look at the rest of the party and say, "To the window, to the wall."
Jesus.
Wow.
They're small, they're bashing everything up.
And you look in, and by your count, it looks like there's like 10 of them.
There's like 10 of them.
The
Too
same
hard
point
to
is
count,
like
they keep jumping around.
at the same point is there like a scientist being alive against the window that we can't save?
No, there's not. There doesn't seem to be anyone in there other than them.
All right. Can I take a quick look in and kind of investigate, see if there's anything in that room that seems worth like fighting 10 of these things for?
Sure. You actually, I would have asked you for a perception check because you're not really. All right. So you look in, you look around, and what looks like something that is in kind of a glass case that's like has a cage with a door in the corner, and it looks like it shimmers a bit because it's wet. It looks like it's been under assault for a while, but it looks like there's something in there that might be worth saving. in terms of whatever functions it serves for this elemental guild.
Are you in this room?
They're and if I didn't make this clear enough, they're a lot smaller than what you just fought.
Them?
Alright, well, this should be fun.
In the building, unfortunately.
What's your marching order?
As I walked up, I guess I'm right next to Zach, right by the door.
I'll approach next.
All right.
Ready
Actually,
with
here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to drag you guys over, and then I'm going to ask you to place yourselves accordingly, because the scene won't it won't happen until something happens. So go ahead and arrange yourselves as you see fit, like just as you enter the room. You enter the room, and they're all sort of just like partying it up. They seem not to actually pay you that much mind as you enter. At least yet. So go ahead and set yourselves up as you see fit. As I roll initiatives.
Arrows in the back.
So as you enter, what do you do? They're just sort of jumping around, breaking things,
The window
making things
through the wall.
more broken. As
They don't take notice.
They seem to like look over in your direction, and then one of them like picks up this piece of equipment that has taken less punishment, and he just throws it to the ground. And then you hear in Primordial, "Destroy!"
He said destroy.
It's cuter and higher pitch.
It was cuter in a higher pitch. You sort of stand there staring at him.
Dagger up. Hold up.
All right. So they sort of, when you bring up your dagger and you start to advance, they all sort of turn toward you, and they begin to. It looks like they're going to try to rush you, but it is Hum's turn first. What does she do? A lot of them are primed for AoEs.
She jumps in front of Tadias, and she is going to send out a thunder wave
From there?
from here.
Yeah. Alright. Give me that spell card, and I will roll their con saves. Alright. Alright. 3 of them fail. So the damage is 6. Alright. And you do a nice amount of
Push
damage.
back and 8.
Yes. This one is pushed, sort of smooshed against the wall. This one is smooshed up to here as well. This one is pushed back. Not knocked prone, but definitely pushed back because they're immune to prone. And these 2 sort of remain where they are, just sort of rippling in the thunderous energy you exude. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, Carahel, it's your turn.
Alright. I am going to move up to this one here by the wall
Alright.
and just charge with my ram horn.
Alright. Zap zap. That is a miss.
Well, I will try once again. As I miss, I'll go back down at him.
I whip my horns back and forth.
Yep.
That is also a miss.
I'm just going too crazy about it.
All right.
Too excited.
Too excited. This one starts to advance toward Hum, sliding along the floor, leaving a little trail behind him. And he gets up to there and he tries to ram into her. Wow, 20 to hit.
Hits.
You take 3 bludgeoning. This one next to Carahill tries to attack her as well, 5 to hit. This one hops up on the table, and you watch as it sort of throws a part of its watery essence at Hum. 15 to hit.
It meets. It hit.
Alright, you take... Wow, 7 bludgeoning. Alright, it's Zachariel's turn.
Alright. Zachariel's gonna run up to his friend Hum here. Not having a good time. And schwack.
That's a schwack. Alright. It,
I'm gonna make that a goading attack. So,
Alright,
wisdom save.
okay.
And he takes an additional 2.
And you kill it.
Oh. When I said schwack, I'm like paddling it.
No, you schwack
Alright.
it enough to, it seems that these
Loosed it.
creatures are, unable to just go unconscious.
Alright, cool. Well then. With that, I finish my movement and turn the shovel on his edge.
Alright. Zachariel. I mean, Tadias.
I kind of like do a little like hop over Hum, and as I hop over, I slash with my arm into the other one.
Do a leapfrog. That's a hit.
I slowly leapfrog,
Alright.
and then I just hold my shield in front of it.
Okay. This one comes over here and lobs a piece of its form at Tadias with a 5 as it just kind of harmlessly splashes on your shield. This one, oops, yeah, this one runs up to Carahill and tries to attack her. 22 to hit,
That hits.
5 bludgeoning.
Alright.
This one, who got smushed against the wall, comes up and tries to hit Zachariel. 7 to hit.
Miss.
This one comes down to here, and I didn't roll for Illyria. No, of course. So she's going to take her turn real quick. Seeing this thing come at her, is going to instinctively shoot it. With, why not? Missing, unfortunately. The arrow goes wide, and it gets to here, but that's all it can do, I think. Yeah. This one going to into here and try to slam Zachariel with an 18.
Miss.
Alright. This one tries to add in the attack. It's 5 to hit.
Miss.
One next to Tadias tries to hit him with a 9. This one rushes down, tries to hit Zachariel. 11. Hum, it's your turn.
Okay, Hum's got the wand in her hand.
Alright.
And can she use the charges to hit a different guy each charge? So, like, if she does 4 charges, can she hit
The
each one of
missiles
these
the
guys?
missiles can be spread out as you see fit. So initially there's 3 missiles, and then second level 2 missile or 4 missiles, so you can spread out those missiles however you want.
Okay. I am going to use 2 charges, and I'm going to hit this one with 2,
Okay?
this one with 2,
Alright.
this one with 2, and then the one right next to Zachariel I'm going to
Wait.
hit with 1.
I get way more charges.
You need more charges for that. 2 charges makes it second level, which makes it 4 missiles.
Oh, okay. I just want to hit each one with 1 charge then.
With 1
So-
missile then? Or is that what you're saying?
One missile, yeah. 1 missile. Sorry.
Okay. So these 4 dudes here,
Yeah, all 4 of the ones standing in front of us.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that 1d4.
1d4.
+1.
Plus 1. Alright. So your magic missiles fly out and strike true. This one loses its cohesion and turns into a puddle. This one takes 3 damage. And this one takes 3 damage. And this one takes 3 damage. Alright. Anything else?
Nope.
Carahill.
Alright, is Ilaria or me going first?
Oh. I need to sort. Yeah.
Okay.
You're first because you have higher dex right now. Or you're it doesn't matter, so yeah, you go first.
Alright. I will attack this one to the side of me first.
Alright.
This one.
That's a hit.
There we go.
Alright. Zap zap.
Isn't it?
With my same head swoop, I will hit the one in front of me.
Alright. That's a hit. Alright. They both take those hits and they're starting to drip more water off that doesn't return. It's Illyria's turn, and she commands Valora to jump up and defend her. And Valora is going to attack with his lightning claws, her lightning claws. That's a hit. And a solid hit. Alright.
All those are magic, right? Because they have been rosined.
No. The rosin doesn't give magic.
One of the things.
The whetstone does. Or not? I didn't call it a whetstone in this game, but that's what those things that you found that the water cultists had. Those give the magic property.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, so this guy's dead. It's this guy's turn. He's going to jump down and try to attack. Actually, he's going to try to attack Hum. He floats over here and tries to hit her with a 17 to hit. Man, these guys are rolling high.
Hit.
4 bludgeoning. Alright. It is Zachariel's turn.
Alright, I'm going to take 3 attack of opportunities as I move
4.
over here.
Oh, no, you're at
3.
3. Okay. 15, 17, 18.
I'll miss.
Alright.
I'm going to shoot my steaming hands in this direction.
Okay, so dex saves. They all fail.
Alright. Bill.
Alright. So, the super hot steam heats them all to a boil, and they lose their... that one loses its cohesion and just turns into a steaming puddle, as does that one, leaving this one the only one standing. Well done.
Yay. I feel depressed.
Nice.
That's it for me.
It may be standing.
I don't like this little squishy boy attacking my friend, so I'm going to stab into it.
What are you saying, Brittany? It's a hit.
I said it may be standing, but boy, is it boiling.
Oh yeah, it's steaming. That's a definite hit, and you
these puns.
take it out. I'm so sorry. All right.
Here, kind of interpose myself between Hum and them.
All right. That guy doesn't exist anymore anyway, so I'm gonna leave him. Oh god, no. All right. That one in front of Carrie Hill is going to attack her for the 5. The one in front of Tadias is going to oblige him and attack him with a natural 1. The one to the west of Carrie Hill is going to attack her with a 20.
That hits.
Slams.
Hey, Mike, you have a question from the chat.
In the stream?
Yeah.
Neat. What is it?
If Valora is scratching behind her ears, does it do damage to her?
It's only on her front claws.
Use the back ones. Make sure you do that.
She tried it with the. She tried to bathe herself for a second, and then she got a little jolt of electricity. So it's like, I'm not doing that now.
Hair standing on end.
She tries to lick her claw because cats do that sometimes to clean, and her hair stands up. Anyway, moving on. That one's dead. Illyria. It's gonna attack Illyria. Actually,
I got an attack and didn't get the damage.
Oh, 5 bludgeoning.
5, okay.
Actually, no, it's gonna attack Valora because Valora attacked it. So, misses with a natural 1. That one is going to run over to. Actually, yeah, he's going to. This guy. Run up to Hum and attempt to attack her with a 15.
It hits.
It's a hit for 5 bludgeoning.
Whew.
That one's dead. Tadias is going to take an attack. 21 to hit. 3 bludgeoning. Hum, it's your turn.
Hum has decided that since Vicious Mockery worked so well the last time, she's going to use it on this guy right here.
Alright. He fails. What do you say? You don't kill it.
I'm just going to try the Sea of Fire is hot again because it worked so well last time. She wants to see if it was a magic words.
It doesn't kill it, but it does seem to falter a little bit. Beads of water dripping off of it. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, Carahel.
Alrighty. Gonna do the same thing as last time, but coming from the north to the west.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay. Alright. And that one's going to the one to your side, okay.
Yep.
They both are looking very worse for wear, barely able to hold themselves together.
Alrighty.
Valora is going to attack the water elemental back with a 25. Valora just shreds it as the electricity just kind of like zaps the water and performs electrolysis on it, and it's water, or it's oxygen and hydrogen. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. It dies. Zachariel, it's your turn.
Alright, Zachariel is going to run over here and strike check kill. Dun dun dun.
That's a hit. Alright, you certainly kill.
And then I'll just move over here.
Okay. Tadias.
At the same time as Hum says the Sea of Fire is hot, I say, what she said! Then I kind of slash to the same one.
Alright.
That's going to be Rezio.
That's a hit. That's a kill. As you slash into it, disrupting its the spirit energy that's holding it together, and it turns into a puddle.
But against the other two.
What? Oh, you look at them. Okay. Well, they look at you right back, and they're going to try to attack you. 21 to hit for 3
That would hit,
bludgeoning. And Carahil, the one looks at Carahil and tries to attack her. Wow, a crit.
Fun.
Wow. 12 damage. Jesus.
Alrighty.
That one's dead. That one's dead. This one to the north of Tadias is going to attack him. 5 to hit. Hum.
Hum is going to use the magic wand again, the wand of magic missiles again.
Okay. Who are you using it on?
The one right in front of
I
Actually, I'm gonna hit the one right in front of Tadias.
Oh, okay. To his north.
Yes, all 3 charges.
Alright, so that's 3 times 9 damage. Alright, you kill it. The magical energy disrupts it enough and it turns into a puddle. Carhill, it's your turn.
Alright, let's hopefully try to end this one that's right next to me.
That's a hit. That is a kill.
Alright.
As you slash into it with your zapping horns, the energy holding it together dissipates and it turns into another puddle. Illyria's turn. Illyria.
I'm gonna use my bonus action as well.
Okay.
Run over here and attack this one on the table.
Alright. That's a hit. That. Like that. Alright. You hit it, and water is just pouring off of this thing. It seems they can't hold itself together. Illyria says to Valora to finish it off as Valora runs up, jumps on the table, and tries to pounce this thing with his lightning claws. The 22 to hit, and expects it to fall down, but what happens is it turns into a puddle, and Valora tumbles a little bit and looks a little confused. But there are none left, and the fight is over.
I run over to Carahel and I touch her with Cure Wounds.
Yay.
Cure Weens.
Cure Wounds.
I'll make a little healing trade and I will use my healing hands on Hum.
Sweet 4 heal. Alright.
I wish I could.
4 HPs yourself.
What'd you say, Brittany?
I said I wish I could complete the circle.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
Monkeys like preening each other's hair back to back to back.
Alright.
The room was my weird glowy thing of value.
It's here in this corner, and you go and retrieve it, and it seems like the cabinet's actually locked.
But these like
I
What?
have my thieves' tools. We could always pick it.
I have my
You're
wood
experts.
carver supplies. I could probably, carve into it and get inside.
Remember,
Thank
this
you.
is a business. Not sure you want to steal from.
we don't intend to steal, we intend to return it.
Recovery. Okay. Well,
Salvaging.
Uh,
Value is also
I have to, I feel compelled to point out that if you just leave it there, they'll return to it because you're clearing this place out.
brag about it.
What was that?
We have to brag about it. Say, look what we did. Look what we saved.
Oh my god.
yes.
Awesome. Alright.
Where did you find that? Oh, it was in a locked cabinet.
Those
It-
water elements.
It was in a
must-
cabinet as water elements were attacking it furiously.
And it's... Yeah.
Heroically.
Alright.
On closer inspection, do I know what it is? Do I have to check?
You recognize that this is something that is used for the procedure to summon an elemental, although it's a little different because it's not for air elementals like you're used to, it's for water elementals.
It is definitely something that the business had, not something that's been tampered with by the crashing.
It looks like something that the business had, and it doesn't look like it's tampered with. It's actually locked up pretty tight.
Really looking at it again, I think we're fine leaving this. Ready for the next.
What even is that?
Uncle has a version of this that has a little different color structure. I think it summons the elementals.
Interesting.
And I'm sure he can show you all the details. I don't know exactly how it works.
All right. So, what do you guys do?
As long as you are.
I am too.
Shall we continue on?
We shall. Or
All right, give me a sec. And then. No. Okay.
My
Standby.
same cat that knocked over my microphone earlier is now trying to eat my speaker.
Are there any like broken tables in that room while we're leaving? Or are the tables all like, you know?
They're all. I mean, there's some that are knocked over, and the place is trashed, mostly. What are you thinking? What are you buying?
Together.
My guess was
I'll take
like
like
a table leg.
Oh, you want a table leg?
Oh, actually, I was looking for a splinter. I wanted to find a tiny little splinter and kind of try to sneak it onto Valora's back of the ear.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, you're making her itchy. Okay. I was like, what's happening? Are you trying to give this panther tetanus? What's going on?
Yeah, of course. Tetanus with a wooden, you know, leg.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what.
Tetanus is metal. I forgot. I mean, okay.
he thinks it's funny.
Sure.
Not gonna lie, I did consider grabbing one of the tables and whacking it, but they're all like resistant to everything.
Sure. You find a freaking splinter. It's wet. You try to
Scratch, like, you know, the
you're
back of her
gonna sneak
ear.
up.
And
You're gonna sneak up on Valora. So roll a
I'm
stealth
not
check.
sneaking up. I walk up and I just start petting her.
Okay, you start petting her, and she's receptive.
I'll just slide.
I'd imagine.
I'll just slide a hand. Just slide a hand it on while I'm petting her.
Okay.
So either way.
Okay. So, you know what? She's so enamored by the petting that it works, but instead of using her paw or claw to scratch, she just kind of like nuzzles her ear like against your hand to get the itch in.
In my armor, like I get the splinter back in me. Well played, kid.
Well, it doesn't go back in you. It just kind of like rubs against you. It's kind of irritating, but it's no worse for wear.
Can she kind of jump at him with her claws and get that stuck in his chainmail?
Jesus.
Give him a little shock.
Give that fishy some things.
She doesn't think you've done anything. She has no reason to attack you. Valeria doesn't notice anything.
It would be an act of affection. She's jumping up on him out of joy.
Kind of scratch. Your cats never do that, like stretch at you and just kind of put their claws in you.
Back stinging me.
Sure, she freaking you
Dogs do that.
scritch her and she just like stretches and like stands on her hind legs and like has her claws out and gently drags them across his chainmail and you feel a little but that's it. It's like when you get a static shock from a door. And he goes, meow. All right.
Alright, I begin walking out of the room and start turning the corner.
Okay,
I'd
so
like to try to identify anywhere the path would be like most messed up by the human influence, not the elementals.
by human influence.
Hoping to track like where the crashing wave actually went into this building.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation. All right. So you find a trail that it's wet, but it's not as wet as certain other places, and it leads into what looks like a small sort of warehouse. There's a couple of mental scaffolds, but it's not really that big a room. But the place is trash, and it looks like ladders have been put up, and you get the impression from the debris all over the place that what was in here was taken from metal shelving and tossed onto the floor and broken, and whatever they didn't break, they took.
Smashed this place up pretty well.
They've had a lot of practice.
It doesn't look promising for our engine or our motor.
Well, you remember that there was one left over in the
Sales area.
yeah, the sales floor a few blocks away.
Are a lot.
Airport home appliances.
I was like slapping the top of saying this baby can fit so many water elementals into it.
Oh god.
I began logging in.
I don't even know how that became a meme anyway. So
how it did either. The internet is weird.
yeah.
So, is there any details of any other like water elementals in this area, or is this like a dead end for that?
In this area, no. It doesn't seem that way.
Check the other rooms, make sure everything's clear.
So as you guys begin, you're crawling through the rooms. You notice there's a few more rooms that are messed up. Some messed up by rogue water elementals, some messed up by people. And you find yourselves... The last place you look is what looks to be a small river that leads out from the center of the building in one of the workshops. That looks like it's a natural spring that they sort of took advantage of. And you sort of realize that this is what's coming out of it and feeding into the river. And you round the corner, and there's a platform on the side of the stream. And you round the corner, and you see 5 of the larger, but not the medium-sized ones, sort of gathered about at the end of the hall. I'm going to take you guys there. They don't seem to notice you at first. What do you do?
Good color as well.
Come again?
Good color as well.
Same weird, tendrily darkness within them.
Capture at least one of them.
Oh, good luck.
We should have brought a spare barrel.
I can get through it, most likely.
So they don't seem to notice you at first. What do you do? You're just talking right now, I guess?
Probably whispering. Like doing our best to not.
Mm-hmm.
I will look to the people. Well, I guess we all have ranged weapons. Did we get to jump on them?
I think we can.
Again, Zachariel and I will stop them from advancing.
Alright, on your mark. I take my shield and my shovel and I brace for the inevitable impact.
Go ahead and set your tokens up as you see fit, by the way, if you haven't already. Illyria,
My dagger will be ready at the horizon.
What? I didn't hear you. What?
Said I hold my dagger up and I get ready to chuck it.
Okay. Illyria draws her bow. So
I'm gonna use my whetstone from that we got, the magical one.
All right, you can do that when
Put it on my crossbow.
your turn comes around, and I'll say you do that as your turn comes around. So let me. So go ahead and roll initiative. And roll
Let's do it last again. Today's is last.
You roll 1. Ooh.
Guess who's last? Guess who's last? Guess who's last? Guess who's last? Guess who's last?
You guys remember the? Anybody remember that parody of that song that Nickelodeon's All That did?
No idea. No.
Oh man, he was sung about like eating meat. pork and beans because I feel so empty without meat. All right. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. So, Carol, you act first.
All right. I will, I guess, attempt to shoot this very first one.
Okay. All right, that's a hit. Nice. So your arrow screams across the room into them, and they all sort of turn around and look like they're about to engage. As they say in Primordial, kill, kill. Anything else?
No, not this turn.
All right. This guy. Oh, man. This guy hops into here, and then with his incredible swim speed, speeds over here, and hops up in front of Illyria, who's surprised with her bow drawn, and is going to attempt to attack her. And she needs to roll strength. And she'll roll the strength. Oh, wait, +1 for that. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, so she fails. So she finds herself grappled, taking 11 damage. And you watch as this thing is going to try to drag her in, but he can't do it right now. Zachriel.
All right. Well, seeing that, I will run over here, and I will attempt to shove him off of Illyria.
All right.
Or shove her out. Can I push her out and then attack him?
Sure.
Alright, that's what I will try to do.
Alright. Roll. Alright, that's plenty. So she is pushed over here with her bow still knocked, and that hits.
So I just kind of run up and do like a small little side hop and slam the water, and it like just jettisons Illyria out, and then I come around with the shovel.
And you strike with 8 damage. Solid.
And then I kind of like look at the water and say, should have thought of that. That'll be it for me.
Alright. This one is going to run up because it doesn't need to swim up to Tadias. Tries to whelm him. Roll strength save. Tadias rolls a strength save. Miles?
Oh, sorry. I was changing something. Alright, strength save?
Yes, please. That is not enough.
How dare you? Right.
With the last 5 feet of its movement, it's going to pull you over here. But that's its turn. This one hops in the water. Oh my god. Hops in the water and zooms over to here and is going to try to whelm Zachriel. I need a strength save. That is a success, and you are ejected over here. This one not wanting to miss the fun. Oh yeah. Jumps into the water and up to here. And is going to attack Illyria. Misses. Hum.
Well, here's my roll for the whetstone.
Alright. So, I don't know what that is because I don't have the chart. Let me look at the chart.
I'm going to... It adds 1d4 cold damage to my crossbow.
Alright.
+1 attack rolls.
+1 to attack rolls,
And-
too.
I am going to use my crossbow on this guy that just zoomed behind Illyria.
Alright. You have disadvantage because one of the creatures is within 5 feet of you. All up in your grill.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I am going to attack this guy. I'll just use my rapier and attack this guy in front of me.
All right. That is a miss, unfortunately. All right. Yeah. This one is going to jump in the water and zoom up to here, and then jump out and get over here, and it's going to. You watch as it sort of like creates this ball of ice inside of itself, and it ejects it right toward Carahill. Oops, that's not the right macro. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and that deals 5 bludgeoning. Would you like to do something with this missile that hit you?
Oh yes, please. Sorry, I didn't hear the attack.
It was he ejected this ball of ice at you.
Okay. I will. Yeah, it doesn't take a key point yet. That's my attack is reduced by 1d10 plus my dex plus my monk level.
Oh wow, there's no way you can fail. So you stop the attack outright because it's
Then I can spend a spend 1 key point to throw it back at them.
all right.
Some Neo shit.
You catch the ball of ice in your hand and then you fling it back. Question mark. You can just use the you can just use your unarmed strike as the damage or as the macro
All right.
because it's the same damage. That unfortunately is a miss. All right. Tadias.
Is it a full action to try and break out of this?
Yes.
Can I choose which direction I try to push him off of me?
Yeah, you can.
Throw him.
You're actually you're gonna get ejected rather than wait.
I move myself, like I move out of his square to break free of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm just gonna make my athletics check and try to get out of it.
All right. That's enough.
Air out of it, and I start walking this way. And let's see, what's my best play here? I think I just. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna bonus action dash, and I'm gonna move away. Get 1 opportunity attack, please.
Okie doke. 14.
Over here and try to cover him as well as I can. Blah, blah.
All right. Carahill, it's your turn.
Alrighty.
Oh shit! I didn't roll for Illyria, and she didn't even get a turn. So let me do that real quick. All right. So she. Let me resort this. All right. So she'll probably just command Vlorha to defend her. Missing. Okay. It's your turn.
So I will attack this one here.
All right.
Will use my action to put away my short bow.
That's an object interaction, so you can just do it.
Okay. And I'll draw my short sword with my action then, if that.
Yeah.
is-
That's how it works. Yep.
And then use my bonus action to attack.
You cannot. You have
No,
to
I
use.
can't?
You have to use the attack action to activate martial arts.
Oh. Okay.
You can if you want to spend a key point. Do Step of the Wind or Patient Defense if you want to take the dodge action. That's the thing you can do.
All right. Yeah, I'll spend the key point to attack that one still.
You still can't do that.
Oh no.
Yeah. I said use. What my suggestion was to use Patient Defense, which lets you take the dodge action as a bonus action. If you want, you can just wait to draw your sword until your next turn and just attack with your unarmed strikes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. That's a hit.
Are our
Your rosin's still active.
rosin's still active? Okay. So I'll still do unarmed and then roll the 4.
Alright. You zap this thing a little bit. And it's its
And then-
turn. Oh, sorry.
Then I still have
Yes.
my bonus action.
Yes. That is a miss.
Alright.
Alright. This one is going to attempt to attack with a 13. Zachriel, it is your turn.
All right. Zachriel is going to attack at this one.
Alright.
Suni's spade.
That's a hit.
All right. And I'm gonna make that a goading attack.
Alright.
So I need a wisdom save, DC 14.
He fails.
Alright. He takes 6 additional.
Alright. This one...
And
Oh.
that's it for me.
Alright,
Yep.
this one's going to try to attack Zachriel with a 22.
Hit.
Deals 6 bludgeoning.
Right.
Alright, this one is going to attack Zachriel because of gloating attack. 21 to hit.
Hit.
5 bludgeoning.
Hit.
Illyria is going to command Valora to attack the one in front of her. Hits. With very decent damage. The one in front of Valora is definitely being is having work put into it. The one up here is going to advance on Illyria and is going to attack her. 21 to hit. And Illyria takes 6 bludgeoning. It is your turn.
Hummus just pulled out her rapier and she's gonna just slash at it.
Alright. That's a hit.
And she's gonna use her psychic blades.
Is this
too.
one here? That one there, right?
This one right here.
Alright.
And she's using psychic blades too.
Okie doke. Nice. Alright. The psychic energy reverberates through this thing and it starts to weaken severely. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alright. This one attacks Valora with enough to hit it. Her. For 5.
Don't you kill that cat while she's gone.
Come on. 5 bludgeoning. Tadias.
Alright, I try to fake blubby noises and I attack this guy.
Alright. That's a hit. Looks very weak now. It's starting to have trouble holding itself together. Water is dripping off. Carehill.
Alright. I'm going to continue just with my headbutt
Alright.
and go at the same one as before.
Okay. That was this one. That's a
Yeah.
crit.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Darn those ones. But that is enough to kill it.
Alright. Bonus action, I'll go with the one below me.
Alright. That's a hit. Very good. It's starting to weaken severely. Zachriel.
Alright, Zachriel is going to attack the same one again.
Alright.
The spade. And
Miss.
Hits
Yep.
himself in the leg.
No,
Yep.
it doesn't.
chops his own leg off.
No!
Replaces his leg with the shovel. Alright.
Alright, so the one south of Zachriel. Let's see here.
Device weapon.
Yup. Going to try to engulf him. Make a strength save.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, you succeed. And you are ejected up here. The one angry at Zachriel is going to try to do the same thing. I need another strength save. That is a
Oh,
fail. So, it starts to drag you off the platform and into the water. And then, with the rest of its movement, it's going to drag you to here. And you get the feeling that someone close to you has had this experience.
yep.
That's its turn. Illyria, seeing this happen, takes out her longbow and deals with the disadvantage of being in melee. And is going to try to shoot at the water around Zachriel. Hits the creature. Dealing 6, but not 6 damage to it. Alright. This creature is going to attack Illyria. 12 misses her. Hum, it's your turn. You see your friend being carried down.
I do.
Is this like a little river?
I have a disadvantage if I shoot that far, but I'm gonna go ahead.
How many charges do you have left out of curiosity?
I should have 3 left.
Oh.
Actually, can I spend 2 charges and get this guy with the
Magic missiles?
wand of
Yeah,
magic missiles?
you can. Definitely within. Definitely.
So I
within-
roll 2d4 plus 2 then?
No, you roll 4d4 plus 2 plus 4. You actually only roll 1d4 and then you multiply it, but for this one I'll just let you roll 4d4 plus 4. Alright,
All of them at the
really?
one with Zachriel.
right. They all scream through and strike this creature, and Zachariel, you find that you are no longer grappled, as it is killed. And the only thing dragging you now is the current of the stream, but it's actually not too deep here, and there's plenty of handholds.
I'm also in heavy armor, so I
You
would
are in
have
heavy
disadvantage
armor.
of Swimming.
But you're not too far from one of the handholds. This one is going to attack Tadias. This one is going to attack Tadias. Bang! 12 to hit. Misses. It's your turn, Tadias.
Does the Zachariel get a hold of one of those handholds or not?
He can on his turn with these, so you watch as he's like free of this and he starts to reach toward a handhold.
And I'll give him a turn. I'm going to turn around and just stab at this one.
Alright,
Wow!
that's a hit. Solid damage.
And I will bonus action and do my Zephyr Belt.
Alright.
I will not take any opportunity attacks as I go to lay. That's 30 right here? That doesn't sound right. I think this map is
It's
throwing
in-
off my thing.
It's in Euclidean, so it's like either here or here is 30 feet.
4, 5. That's 30 feet right there.
What?
Doing spaces. Spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you
6.
do that, if you're going to do that, then you have to do it the 4E way and count 10 every other one. So that's why I have the map in Euclidean. So
Okay,
30 feet is here.
I'll get there then.
Okay. You didn't use any movement, so what? You can move another 30 feet. Pretty
Should I
sure.
do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I dashed. No, I used my bonus action to cast the spell.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. Yep. So you get to there. That's your turn. Carehill.
Alright, she will go after the one right next to her.
The one next to you is down here.
Yeah.
All right.
Get it down here. And same thing as before.
That's a crit.
Nice.
All right. Minus that. Okay, solid. And then,
I'll do it again if it's not dead.
nope, it's not done.
Alright.
This one was pretty put together.
Good boy.
Here we go.
Oh god.
I don't think
Cahill
it
is just
Hit him.
on fire
Get
with
him.
her lightning horns of death. All right, and this one starts to weaken a lot, and it starts to drip water that doesn't return. Zachariel, you reach out and you grab one of the handholds on the side. Obviously, they wouldn't have this if there weren't handholds, and it's easy enough to climb out.
And then I come to the sudden. How much? Just 5 feet for that?
Yeah, just 5 feet for that.
All right. I come to the sudden realization that I'm very angry.
All
All right. I'm gonna dash,
right.
and then I'm gonna action surge,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna swing the shovel with the intent to kill with a fiery red anger as I'm running by to die. You watch. My eyes just turn to full red. And I, you know what? Just for the extra hell of it. No, I don't have that program. Never mind. Hey, Mike, is the spade versatile?
Yes, it is.
What, a D8?
Yes. You
Alright,
drop, drop your shield.
as I'm
and
running up, I drop my shield.
I'll let you do this.
Drop. Oh, alright.
I'll let this slide.
What do you mean?
It's an action to doff a shield.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I won't do it.
All right.
All right, I'll just attack normally then.
Okay.
That time. Oh, never mind.
Those
Whipping
two
it up.
natural 20s kind of took the. Yeah.
I mean, I've rolled like 3 or 4 natural, so.
This
I
one.
rolled-
I'll be
That's a
right back.
I rolled 3 just in this encounter.
All right.
I'm jealous of all these great numbers.
19 to hit Zachariel.
Hit.
7 bludgeoning. That one's dead. Illyria is going to command Valora to try to finish off the one in front of her. And it's a hit. And Valora finishes off the one in front of her. It turns into a puddle of nothing. The one next to Illyria is going to attack her. Hits her for 21 for 5 bludgeoning. As all of this chaos is happening, Hum looks around, sees that Zachariel's okay, and she's BRB, isn't she? Tadias, go ahead and... Do you guys want to give her a minute? This encounter's almost over. Tadias, take your turn.
I'm just gonna kind of like walk over here. It's a wall on this side, right?
Yeah, it's a wall.
Kick up and do a little parkour jump and throw my dagger into this bad boy.
All right.
Ah!
I'm back.
Hello.
Why is that bad boy?
You actually hit because it's flanked. Go ahead and
I-
roll damage.
Even if I'm not part of the flank?
Yes, because he's assaulted on both sides, so he can't defend himself accurately.
Nah, I know that rule. That's neat. Alright, cool.
It's not a roll. It's my interpretation of it. So that much damage.
I know that was the interpretation.
It's my interpretation at least. So you hit, you do that damage. It starts to look very weak. Hum, take your turn.
I still have to roll my
Okay,
D8
I'm
because I
just-
did
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
for
What's that D8 for?
strike.
Oh, nice. It looks like a small wind could blow it over. All right.
So a small wind picks up as pulls out her crossbow
All right.
and slams a bolt in.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
And it gets stuck right in there because she slammed it too hard.
All right. Cahill.
Name your crossbow, small wind.
Very angry that the
I-
last 2 powerful attacks didn't kill this thing. She's going to try again.
That's a hit. All right. You do, in fact, kill it that time. It turns into a puddle before you. And because we are over time, with this one left, the party just gangs up on it, and it fights back fiercely, but you just beat the hell out of it, and then turns into a puddle. Because there's no way you would lose at this point. And it kind of gets quiet, and all you hear is the sound of the river rolling along. And that is where we will end our session, and we will continue next week.
Same bat channel, same bat place, bat time.
Bat time. Same
bat station.
Same bat station. All right.
It's been a long day.
Has it been a long day?
Yeah, I slept all day.
Ah.
Fake promotional swag and deals are not subject to none.
All right. Well, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Night.